Jazz was created by African Americans in this country who were not even looked upon as full human beings by the Constitution. And here they are creating something that's timeless, that had no precedent in Western art. Every night we play with the Count Basie Orchestra, that music is different. We may play the same song, but the solos are different every night. The form is the same, but the improvisations are what is really what makes that music what it is. You don't even know what you're going to play until you play it, pretty much. And and the people that you're playing with influence what you actually create. So jazz is about being creative all the time. Dave Monat knows a lot about jazz because he's the greatest trumpet maker to ever live. I've been playing Dave's trumpets now for about 26 years.
Dean, how's this Rajna coming?
Pretty good, actually.
What are you working on?
I got this flange is looking good. It's fitting.
The trumpets that we make are truly custom made for each individual player, which almost nobody on the planet does. We don't build a horn until we know who it's going to and what are their musical priorities. And a lot of the times we've actually even heard the player play. And the trick is listening to someone to do a little time travel and go to the future and hear how they sound when they sound way better than they're currently sounding right now in present time.
See what we're doing.
And then sit down and talk about what specifics we want to build into the horn that will achieve that sound that we haven't heard in the physical world yet. So it's kind of a fun process.
Dave is beginning to build a new trumpet for me, and so I'm here to just play different prototypes of several models he has to see what we're going to do for mine.
Nice.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We've been doing this for 30 years and I've only made 2,600 horns. Because we want to make fewer horns and make them better. Every one of my coworkers is a trumpet player and was a client before they were an employee.
I bought number 295 in 1987, and they mentioned that they were looking to add a person in the shop. And I said, well, give me a shot. And a lot has changed since, but here we are, the latest, greatest horn.
So everyone here kind of has to pave their own path so that we can collectively put 150 parts of a trumpet together. There's about 4 feet of brass tubing, half cylindrical tubing, and about half tapered tubing.
I'm just working on this valve casing. This is kind of where the horn starts, right here. There's 18 pieces that go together. A lot of the time goes into the alignment. It's all done by eye with the ruler, so everything's all on plane.
And once I have that valve casing, then the balusters go on. And then I can start soldering on the various valve slides. Then I can make the tuning slide. Once that's done, then I can fit the lead pipe.
The lead pipe is the part that is right at the beginning of the trumpet. Starts out as a straight cylinder, And then I put a mandrel in there that will be the shape of the inside of that tube. Lead pipe has a taper that is very important to the sound. And when I press it down against that mandrel, it has the perfect shape that we're looking for.
When it's all soldered on, the width is absolutely the same as the tuning slide to within a 1/1000th of an inch. And this is very important because you don't want any tension in the trumpet.
What everyone in the shop does is figure out how to make parts with no tension in the part, and so that they fit together with other parts with no tension, which makes the instrument vibrate freely and is more resonant, which gets us down the road to a more successful musical product for the player. And one of the players that have probably influenced the design of Monet instruments the most is Wynton Marsalis.
What's up, Doc?
And Wynton gets a new horn about every year.
Oh, got fancy valves.
Whenever I figure out how to make the next best horn for him, I just build it. I just show up with a new horn, and he plays it. The thing that makes Monet instruments really unique is something we call constant pitch center, which means when you play from soft to loud, the pitch doesn't change. And when you see people playing trumpets on TV or in shows or something, you'll see people manipulating their body and doing all sorts of weird stuff, and they're just compensating for the fact that those instruments, conventional instruments, do not have constant pitch center.
Working with Dave's instruments, I'm not struggling with it, I'm not fighting it. This is how it's supposed to be. I just play as if I'm breathing.
So Scotty, your horn is going to get a bell that's a radical improvement over any bell we've ever had on a B-flat trumpet. Here's the new tooling.
Okay.
And if you look at the shape of the old mandrel, you can see it's a completely different thing going on here. Yeah. We never designed this mandrel 25 years ago to have a bell as big physically in diameter. And this is the best trumpet that we've ever made to date because it's the first one that's got the new bell.
Wow, man.
From the new bell mandrel.
The bell is the largest part of the instrument, and it's very important. First, I want to true up the flare. It's a single sheet of metal that I've pre-cut out to the diameter that I want it to be. And then after I get it to my desired flare, I trim it, and then I can actually attach it to the bell stem. I can push it and kind of form it and get a bell out of it.
Emery has spent 2 days making this bell. I trim it to the proper length, start fitting it onto the horn. And once the bell's soldered on, I can start fabricating the braces that connect the lead pipe to the bell.
Dave's new trumpet for me, it's called a decorated instrument. It will tell my life story that will be saw-pierced into the design of it. And so I'm here to talk to the designer, Tammy Dean.
This is going to be a blast doing this horn for Scotty.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
So on Art's horn, which is the only one of these decorated horns we have in the shop, you know, we've got all these icons back here. We got Dizzy Gillespie and Roy Eldridge and Louis Armstrong. So Scotty, who would be the most important heroes to you that you want closest to your heart while you play?
Oh, that would be, well, Dr. King, of course. I think Freddie Hubbard, Basie, Count Basie. Wynton is very important to me, you know.
And it's Dr. King Sr.
Actually, it would be both, but I knew seniors.
And he baptized you, right? Yeah.
So of those four people, is he the most grounding of the four?
As far as spiritually, yeah, and just as a person, yes.
Okay, so then Dr. King Sr. needs to be at the lowest part.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah. And then Count Basie, Freddie Hubbard, and then Wynton.
Wynton at the top.
So then, Tammy, you'll have to figure
Yeah.
out what we're doing for icons for all those people.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be able to have 18 to 20 people total on your horn.
Yeah.
All right, so this is gonna be a year and a half away.
But you're here for the long term, right?
I'm here for the long run.
We're ready to go. We're ready to start. Yeah.
And that's
right.
not even adjusted yet?
Not even final adjusted yet. It's pretty zingy. isn't it?
Man.
Wow.
We know an instrument that's a prototype new design is ready for delivery because we've play tested it and play tested it 60 feet away at the far end of the shop. I think we got it.
That
winning.
projects,
I know. Well, we didn't waste our
And-
time on the new bell mandrel, did we?
no.